All right, welcome to the third video in this little series we've been doing on soloing techniques and playing outside the box a little bit, spicing up your lead. Today is no different. We're going inside the Magic of Adding Jazz DVDs, which was all about taking jazz ideas and incorporating them into your current style. It wasn't so much, learning how to play jazz. It was taking jazz phrasings and borrowing some ideas to spice up what you already know, and just little simple little tweaks like that to help you be more creative and inspired and things like that. So I'm going to show you a fancy little 8-bar phrase, and we're going to play to a popular jazz chord progression, the 16, 25, and western swing it up a little bit like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then after that, I'm going to break it down a little bit and reveal to you some of the familiar thinking techniques that I use when I'm coming up with licks like this, off the fly, and when I'm writing solos and things like that. How do I come up with stuff like this? And we've talked about the Roy Nichols and the Danny Gatton and borrowing notes from other keys and other scales, and that's kind of exactly what this is all about. So this is going to be a very exciting and inspiring lesson today, so I really thank you for being here, and I'm going to make it quick and short. You'll have your tabs and backing tracks over there to download, and so you can get the most out of this. So let's hear this lick with the track now, and then we'll break it down. Out of A, and it's based around like a major sound, dominant 7. You can play kind of just around the blues pentatonic stuff with adding the major third. So, and that's my favorite technique, my favorite style. So when we break this down, you hear a lot of those outside notes. You hear the flat 5, and then it resolves, and different little passing notes, passing tones. And all that is I think there's no wrong notes. I've always saying that. It's all about how you finish the sentence, not so much what goes on in the middle. Okay? It's all about, I've always said, that's just like a horrible note. How can you make that work? That just sounds like it would never work, but it does when you put it in a chromatic line or something like that. So I was saying, I realized my cameras were off, the right and left cameras here. So I did not want to be, I hate redoing things, so I had to stop things for a minute. But I was talking about, if you put these wrong, horrible notes, if you're playing a phrase, if you're trying to make a statement out of something, you can always do that with any note. There's no wrong notes, especially with jazz and jamming. When you're jamming it out and there's blues, and there's really no wrong way. I just threw it in. Now, it can't be used as a dominant note. You can't land on it. You can't, just land on it, but you can use it in passing, and that's what's great about jazz and blues and jamming. That's why I love chicken picking and fusing it all together, okay? So playing outside the box. Now this is kind of a stretch. We're clear up here on the 8th fret, and then we're coming down to the 4th. And that's how I do it. You can do it that way, but I choose, I guess I choose the hard way. And it's basically because I'm right here and I'm thinking out of that region right here. So there's the phrase, basically. Okay? So it follows that there's only one note. There's only one note, maybe that one too. Two jazzy type notes in this. The rest is, you can do, there's kind of like the blues way. So that's where you can mix jazz. Instead of now you can throw in those, those wrong notes or whatever. So there's the one technique, and the other one that's following the same theme this week with these soloing ideas and playing outside the box with hotter licks and with playing in circles. That's why this is a great package deal. It's a great, all three of them. They really just all complement themselves. Awesome. The other rule was the 7 flat. Taking this position down a whole step and not thinking it's an A11 and then what goes with that. We can't do that because this style doesn't require any of that. All right. So we go right into and I kind of wrote this lick with these techniques in mind. There's a lot of stretching in this. So we're going right into the G major triad over the A. Okay? I'm basically working my way from this position down to this position. It's the resolve. You can resolve here in this A. You've heard me talk about shapes, which all the shapes videos come in with the Hotter Licks and Killer One-Liners DVD. It's a bonus DVD in there. So anyway, a little shameless plug just thrown in there as like a little sucker punch there. So we're going from here to here. And we've got a lot of notes we can... Okay, we can do a lot of stuff from here to here. And I'm really only thinking out of A. Because it's a jazz progression. All the chords in between A and A are just passing back into A anyway. So there's no reason to play outside of the A chord or the A, the A thinking, perspective-wise. There's another bad, horrible note, but it's in passing. And it can be explained, but I don't care to, because I think it's just easier to say, that's just a passing note. We're passing into a good resolve note that can be dominant. That can be dominant, that can. So we use that as a passing note. I hope that makes sense. You can use all these notes in between the two dominant notes. I'm always talking about, chromatic lines and things like that. Basically, there are two target notes in this case. There's all kinds of target notes that are the right notes, and everything in between can be used to pass around and in and out to connect them, okay? And it's all taught. I'm always trying to give you the full picture that are in the actual DVDs when we do these little, steal these clip ideas. You know, I'm trying to give you the whole, just in case nobody buys, I still want you to get a lot of value out of it, okay? So, my bad. Anyway, there's the 7 flat, and then another passing note. Okay? That's kind of the country sound thrown in, and I love mixing all of them. That's my favorite style. And that's how I suggest you work on things, just kind of how I was just noodling around with different connections there. I might just do the one. You know, wherever you're having the trouble, stop there. Don't try to do the whole line over and over. Just stop on the trouble areas and let your mind grasp the connection with the rhythm. Okay, so that'll be the downbeat. So okay, so I basically wanted to point out all the techniques that I've been talking about that are in all of these 3 DVDs. Is borrowing notes from other shapes and other scales, okay, and that goes deeper and deeper, and kind of using the sharp, using the sharp stuff, you know, the sharp, taking a position, making it sharp, to make everything sound jazzy, and to that's when you start flowing and you start creating and things like that. Your ears will tell you what to stay away from, okay? And that's the technique that should be worked on with the most tenacity, not learning why so much, you know, not learning why not, but letting your ears determine the phrase you want to make. And if you phrase it right, if you present it right, there's nothing wrong you can do. That's really the truth. You can't play wrong notes and there's no wrongness about it. With these styles, you know, there are more restricted times and styles. Classical, you have to, you know, that's the discipline side and things like that, where it does require knowledge. I'm not against it by any means. But in this self-indulgent country blues, mixing some jazz in there, I just want to jam. So I'm teaching other jammers. Okay, that's really the point of these. So I'm going to close out with that. I'll play the track again, and in your tracks I'll include a slower version of the same track. Okay, that way you guys won't have to hassle with slowing it down and things like that to practice it. But just work on these little ideas I'm always giving you. Let them soak in and apply them to all the other stuff you're doing on your guitar and things when you write, and you know, when you learn other solos. like maybe you're in a band and you learn the solo from the CD. Apply these concepts to it, and you will grow exponentially. You just compound your knowledge that way. So I hope you got a lot out of this video and the others, and I hope that you accept any offers on the page, if it's a bundle, if it's the single jazz DVD. This jazz DVD, by the way, also comes with 3 live internet webinar jams that we did a couple years ago. And I kind of was watching them again the other day, and I so want to do them some more in the near future. So maybe me and Mitch will fire up the old webcams again. We actually have HD capabilities now to do that. And do another live jam with you guys and have the chat roll smoking and everything like that. So anyway, that comes with all the live webinars just thrown in, just as a bonus for everyone that missed it. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. Here's the track again, and remember to download your tabs and your 2 tracks, the fast and the slow one. And I'll see you guys real soon in the next video.